This video is going to be the first in a new series where I teach you Python, This video is going to be the first in a new Python for Beginners series where I learn Python and then I teach you what I learned. So basically how it's going to work is I don't know much Python, but my plan is to go through and learn Python. And then after each section, I'll go and teach you what I've learned. So I've gotten this idea from the YouTube channel Tech with Tim, who I think is doing this with C++. So I don't know Python, I haven't written much in my life, and I thought it would be good to learn, and then I can go ahead and teach what I learned to you guys. So anyways, let's get into the first video. All right, so let's get Python installed in our computers here. So let's come over to python.org up here and go to the download section. Now, before we actually do this, you might want to check your computer and see if you already have Python installed. So you can come over to terminal over here and you can just type in Python and -v like this. And as you can see, I already have Python on this machine and it's 3.7.6. But you just want to make sure you have something over 3 for this little mini course we're going to be doing. Anything Python.2 could be a little bit different, so I would suggest using that. So if you do not have anything showing up there, let's come back over and go to this python.org/downloads, and you can come in and you can see right here we have download the newest version of Python right here. Now this is for Mac for me, but if you are using Windows, there's also a Windows distribution there. We got Linux and all different types of stuff. So come in and download that. And then again, if you're on Mac, you could also use Homebrew. Come in and install Homebrew like this. And then to use Homebrew, you would just come in and say brew install, I think, like that. All right, so that is good. All right, so once you have everything installed there, let's come back over to our terminal here, and I've just created a folder called Python course, and I've CD'd into it, and then I am just gonna open this up in VsCode. All right, so I'm using VsCode. Feel free to use whatever text editor you want, but if you are using VsCode, I would suggest coming over to these extensions over here, and you want to make sure you have the Python extension. Yeah, this Python extension here, and it's from Microsoft, and it'll just give us a few more things with text highlighting and whatnot. So a bunch of good stuff. So I would install that, and yeah, once you're done that should be good. All right, so next let's come in here and let's create a file. So if we want to create a new file in Python, we're just going to go like this and say we'll just say test.py, and then we have a Python file all ready to go. Now let's go over some of the data types that you will see in Python. All right, so here we have the different data types that you'll see in Python here. So let's go over them real quick. So an int is going to be like 2 or whatever, 10, anything like this, any number basically. We'll come down to our float here, and a float's going to be a decimal, so 2.3, whatever, 4.3, whatever you want for that. Then strings are going to be in quotes here. So we'll say test, anything in quotes like this. A list is going to be like an array in JavaScript, so you're going to go square brackets, and you could have like some array of numbers basically, and they call them lists in Python. So a list is just going to be like that. Then we're going to come down, and a dictionary in Python is the same thing as like an object in JavaScript. So that'll be like curly braces, and then we'll have some sort of key. So we'll say a key here, and then that will be have some sort of value, just like this. And again, you could have a bunch in a row. All right, let's go over, this is tuples here. So a tuple is going to be an ordered immutable sequence of items here. So that would just be like, say we have a number, and you could have, again, some sort of string in here. And then you could have, say, a float, just like this. Now the difference is with this cannot be changed, the order here. This is immutable, meaning we cannot change the order. All right, that's good for that. And then let's go on to sets here, and these are unordered collection of unique objects. So a set, the object has to be unique that you put in. So for instance, we cannot go like 1, comma, 1, like those are not unique, so that would not be allowed. But we could have whatever, 1, 2, whatever, keep it going. Or the same, you could have strings and stuff too. So test, and that would work fine. All right, then finally, we just have a Boolean here, a bool, and that is just gonna be your typical true or false. All right. All right, so these are gonna be the data types that we're gonna use, and we'll get into using these throughout the course. But for right now, let's just give you a taste of how to do a few things, maybe with some strings or some numbers. So we can get rid of this here, and then we're gonna come up to the top, and let's first show you how you can print something to the screen. So in order to do that in Python, we're just gonna go use the word print like this, and then let's do a string. So we'll just say test here like this, and if we go ahead and save that, we can open up a terminal in the bottom here. And with this open here, in order to run this, all we have to do is say Python, and then we'll say test.py, which is the name of the file. And as you can see here, it runs test, which we have printed to the screen. So if you have Python 3 and Python 2 installed, you may have to run Python 3 test.py, just in case that wasn't working for you. All right, so that is our string here, and then let's check out numbers here. So in order to actually comment something out, we can just go like this and add this little hash sign. And then if we want to use numbers, let's go like this, and we can print this out, and we can just say print 1. If we run that again, and if we run that, we'll see we get the 1. And then you can just do like addition, subtraction, all the different mathematical operations. So we could say 10 times 10 here, or just like this, and save that, and then running that, you can see we get 100 just like this. So any of the mathematical operations here, we can go plus, we can go minus, we can go division, and we can do the modulus operator as well. So that is all good. Now, if we wanted to put these in variables here, let's come down here. And in order to do a variable, we don't need any like const or var or anything like that you might have in JavaScript. You're just gonna write the name of the variable. So we'll say test like this, and that is gonna be equal to, say, 10. And then we can come down below that, and we can say print test like this, and we should, if we run this, get the value of 10, just like that. And yeah, so that is how variable assignment works in Python. All right, so that is going to be our intro for this, of getting set up and everything. As this continues, we'll just be going through and learning as we go. So thanks for watching. See you in the next one.